Right, this whiteboard training is just going to go over how to do the following things. Inserting an image using the screen shade, making some labels which you can move around, and then adding a link. Now this is using Smart Notebook 11, but most of this should be transferable to earlier versions of Smart. First things first, adding an image. Now it's quite simple really. First we need to get ourselves an image. So I'm just going to go over to here. Here is, I've googled some pictures of trees, and I'm just going to click on the image. I'm going to click on view image, and then the image I get here I'm going to right click on. Now the reason why I've clicked through to the final image is so you get the best quality image. If you choose the first one, sometimes it'll be a bit pixelated. So I'm going to right click and copy. Then I'm going to go back to my interactive whiteboard. I'm going to add a new page, and I simply right click and paste. It might take a second to insert, but it will get there. There you are. And then you can resize that and then move that around as much as you want. So moving on to using the screen shade. So let's go back to the image we had. If you want to use a screen shade to hide this and only reveal parts of it, I know it's not the most interesting image, but the example will work. Up here along the top there is a screen shade button. If you click it, it places the screen shade over the whole of the slide. Now you can move it from left to right, and you can move up and down depending on which part you grab from. The important thing to remember about this is you can set a screen shade on each slide and set it to different amounts being revealed. So you can actually save it looking like this, or you can save it so this much of the screen shade is on. That's worth remembering. Other pieces of software don't do that. Smart does. So every single slide you have to turn on the screen shade. So if I go to this picture, the screen shade isn't on, it's only on that slide. Right, how to make labels and move them around. Now you might remember this example, which I showed everyone. So this is a simple one where you just move the letters around, the words around, sorry, and label the picture. Now if I go to a blank one, in order to add labels, it's very simple. You click and then start typing. And it will remember where you last clicked. So flower, roots, stem, and leaf. Now, if this happens, what you can see here, just grab those little boxes, little dots at the end of the boxes, and then that will resize the box. Now you can move these around, put them over here. If they're a bit big or a bit too small, you can click here on the little circular white corner, and you can make it bigger and smaller. If you want to add some arrows like I had in my example, you click on lines. Now these are lots of different lines you can make. I'm going to click on this one, which is just a black arrow. But if I wanted to change this and look at the options of it, the easiest way to do that is to click here, and this is the style for this line. So if I want to make it red, make it thicker, I can now then make thick red arrows, which then I can also click on using the, once you click the select tool, you can move those around, get them pointing to the right areas, and then we can label our plant. The final thing is looking at making links. Now, as I showed you before, the easiest way is just to copy and paste a URL. So if I went, for example, to the Latimer Prep website, which will load momentarily. Once you've loaded the page, it's important the page loads. You just click up here on the address bar in whatever browser you're using. This is Google Chrome, you might be using Safari, or you might be using Internet Explorer. All you do is you click, make sure it's highlighted, copy it, then go back to the Smart Notebook program, right click and click paste. It will instantly insert it. That little world there means when you click on it, it will go to the website. If you don't like this text and you think, oh, I don't really want it to say Latimer Prep, you can actually double click on it and change it to a different word. When you click away, that link still goes to the website. This is really good for adding games. So if you had a maths game, for example, if we were doing this maths game, and you perhaps not this one, if you're looking at this maths game, instead of copying and pasting the whole thing. Oh, you copy and paste it in, but when you paste it on this page, you don't really want that long URL. You might just want to change it to what the name of the game is, which is %. That way, it's a bit easier to look at. You can hide it on your page as well, so that's worth doing. Now, an image. If you want to add a link to an image, it's just as simple. If I go back to my tree, here's an image which we've already got on the page. I'm just going to make it a bit smaller. If I wanted to add a link to this, you click on here, and you go down to link, and then you simply paste in the address you just copied. So the difference is instead of just right-clicking and copying and just placing it on the background, you have to tell the image you want to add a link to it, and then this little tiny world appears. Again, it just makes for your presentation looking a bit cleaner, but it's just an option. Hopefully that's helpful, and I should have covered everything I said. So we've just gone over how to insert an image, how to use the screen shade, how to make labels to move around, and how to add a link.